Good morning. Welcome to Live at 7:55 for this Thursday, January 11th. Thank you so much for joining us here. Good morning, Casey Keller. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. We've got kind of a longer segment planned for today. We'll see how it gets here. And that is hardware plus software plus user experience equals business. The reality is that it comes down to those three things. The hardware of your business. What is your hardware? Your hardware could be your brick and mortar storefront. It could be the tools you use to get the job done. It could be the computer you work on. It could be many of those different things that you use on a regular basis that is tangible, something you can touch and feel and pull together. And so for me, you have to have the right hardware in your business. How do you know if you have the right hardware in your business? You realize if it's something that's going to be taking you to the next level or not, something you can work with, something that's going to be okay for you to have for quite some time. These are all things to think about. The next thing you want to look at after your hardware and know, and here's the other thing on hardware, you don't always have to have the latest and greatest. You know, do clients ultimately care about the tools you use? No, they care if they get the results they want out of your product or service. So as long as your hardware is not hampering your ability to deliver your product or service, then you're fine. Software is, the stuff that's intangible, the internet, programs that you run on your computer, your email. There's all kinds of points of software, if you will. And that's something you want to look at to decide, is that serving my business well? I just talked to a disc jockey recently who doesn't have any software for CRM for his business. So then how do you know where you're at in business? Do you have QuickBooks? How are you using to manage yourself financially? How are you using to manage your marketing? What are you using to look at your sales numbers? What are you using, software, whether it's Google Drive, spreadsheets, Excel, QuickBooks, DJ Event Planner, there's all Event Temple, there's all kinds of different options that you can use for software to help manage your business. But you better have the right software in place, and you better make sure that it's following a process for you. Someone just recently purchased my Ultimate Follow-Up solution as well. And again, setting it up right, putting it in place, and making sure it works for you, that it's going to be automated properly is important. And don't get me wrong, this is not a holier than thou thing. Occasionally I have hangups too and things I need to fix in my software. For example, making sure that an email that is meant for a wedding client isn't going to a corporate client. Yeah, guilty, been there, done that. So those are things you need to make sure that you look at, which leads us to the final, which is user experience. And that is the people, or could be yourself, that you have in place. Good morning, Rebecca. So it could be the people or yourself that you have in place to serve your clients is your user experience. And your hardware and your software and the people, or yourself, if you're a single op business, you all come together to create the user experience for your clients. What does that look like? How does your client interact with your hardware? How does your client interact with your software? How does your client interact with the people, the whole user experience? What does that look like? So explore that in your business and find out what specifically is working, what could be improved. On the whole hardware front, we just went through a whole remodel, if you will, or purge and repurchase of wireless microphones because the FCC is taking over the 600 band. So that was a complete switch we had to make on hardware this year to ensure we were compliant with the FCC moving forward and to ensure that our staff didn't have any issues moving forward. That's going to be a big question here coming up in the future, especially when T-Mobile have bought the band and it looks like they're moving through, ironically enough, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, of all places, is one of their first areas they're moving into. Weird. And then beyond that, the software, again, making sure that things are set for follow-up for clients, making sure that your email processes are changing. You shouldn't be sticking with the same email templates, from years ago. You should be constantly tweaking those and measuring those and A/B your emails to see what works. So that's something you need to think about. And then user experience, the people. I know I'm summing this up here for you now as we go through. But finally, do you have reviews for your people? Do you actually sit down and walk through some sort of spreadsheet, some sort of calculation, rating them on different facets of your business? You should. It's something you should look at definitely if you're not doing that currently. Hiring and firing. They always talk about slow to hire, quick to fire is one of the phrases in business, and that is definitely true. Once it's time to let an employee go, you let them go. And again, those are things you need to look at in your own business and decide where that is with that person, where they are in the process about hiring and or firing. So definitely things to think about, but realize that those three areas come to make up your entire business and what a client perceives about your business: your hardware, your software, and your people all make up the user experience for your clients. It equals your business. So that's it for Live at 7:55 for today. Thank you so much for watching this Thursday, January 11th episode. A lot of big things coming up. Mobile Beat Las Vegas, of course. I'm not speaking there this year. I spoke on the Mobile Beat Cruise just last month, or 2 months ago, I guess it was now. Had a great time on that. If you're interested in that, upcoming for 2018, you can go to mobilebeatcruise.com and check that out. We got a 7-day itinerary, some great ports of call planned, 4 different islands we're going to be stopping at. You've got also Midwest DJs Live with some big news upcoming from Midwest DJs Live. Looking forward to that at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino coming up April 30th and May 1st. It's Midwest DJs Live 10. Great lineup of speakers: Mike Walter, Brian Bonacici, Rob Peters. We've got Jim Cerrone, Bill Herman, Howard Wallach, just a great array of speakers. Jamie Bodie will also be there. So we're looking forward to that for Midwest DJs Live 10. And I'm proud to be one of the keynotes for the DJAA conference down in Adelaide, Australia, coming up here in August. So very much looking forward to that as well. Thanks so much for watching Live at 7:55. We will see you mañana, Friday, for our Friday free-for-all. Be thinking about what you want to talk about, because we chat about it tomorrow on the show. It's your show. You take over, your topics, your thoughts, your ideas. We'll break it all down tomorrow. See you tomorrow for Live at 7:55. Bye.